So this is the first video diary for The Tree Witch, November the 17th, 2018. And I should explain that I'm Gary Moore. I'm a filmmaker based in the northeast of England, and I'm going to be making a short horror film, which is going to be part of an anthology feature film. So I want to keep a video diary. So basically going through the process of making a film from script to release and trying not to give away any spoilers in the process. I've got some notes on my laptop here because I want to get across some vital information, so I'll be kind of looking down at the screen a lot. So what's it all about? So I was contacted by another filmmaker who I know called Stephen Patrick Kenny from Ireland, and we've worked together, we're still working together on another film which is going to be hopefully released next year. Anyway, so Stephen contacts me and he says he's pitched this anthology horror film idea to a distributor, and they've basically said yes, they're giving them a go ahead to do it. So there's going to be 5 filmmakers, each making a 20-minute short, and that'll be put together to make a feature-length anthology of around about 100 minutes, basically. So the directors are me, Stephen, another guy from Ireland, and 2 from America. Now, I don't know who the other guys are, what they've done, what their CVs are like, because I was trying to avoid that in case I felt a bit intimidated, because they may have done a lot more than me, so I haven't checked them out yet. So I wanted to try and avoid that for the time being. So the film has been pre-signed. It's got a pre-signed distribution with 4 Digital Media, which is under the umbrella of Sony. And we've also got sales agents Devilworks signed up. And the film is aiming to premiere at the Fright Fest Film Festival in London in 2019, and then hopefully released onto various platforms after that. So it's got a guaranteed distribution already. However, each film isn't guaranteed to be included in the finished anthology once the films have been made. They obviously have to be of a particular quality, so distributors will consider each film together once everything's been completed, basically, and they'll make a decision on that. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it's an amazing opportunity. Another downside is that there's no budget, so each filmmaker is going to have to come up with their own budget for their films. So this is going to be, doing everything on a shoestring, as most any short filmmaker will recognise that. So we're all in the same boat from that regards. So my short film, or my section of the anthology, is going to be called The Tree Witch, and I've got a little paragraph here. I'll just read it kind of almost word for word, just to tell you about what it's about, what the story's going to be about. So the backstory is basically it's set in the 1600s, the backstory, which we don't see, we hear one of the characters talking about it. So in the 1600s, on the eve of her 18th birthday, a girl is accused of being a witch and left tied to a tree in the woods until she grows old and withered. But before she dies, she vows to take revenge on the villagers' daughters on the eve of their 18th birthdays, to take their souls in order to regain her youth. And the legend of the Tree Witch is born. So our story begins 400 years later, as Alice is about to celebrate her 18th birthday, and left alone in her isolated country house during a thunderstorm, the Tree Witch comes for her. Now, all Alice has to do is survive until midnight. When she becomes an adult, then the Tree Witch can't find her, can't take her. So that's basically the premise of the story, of my particular story. I'm not sure what the other guys are doing yet, because we're still working out this process of getting our scripts together and what have you, because it's very early stages. So there is a wish list of things that the distributors want us to try and get into our films if we can. So number 1 is we've got to try and set it at Halloween, which I've done. There's got to be some, if we're doing any external scenes, they want to try and get in some swaying trees, in the wind, a full moon, some fog to make it very atmospheric. Each film is supposed to be a different kind of horror genre, so it can be one film, only one film can be a slasher, only one film can be a ghost story, only one film can be about a demon or whatever. So we all kind of have to decide what kind of genre within the horror genre that we're going to do. Each film is also supposed to be set at an isolated location. So mine's going to be a house, kind of in the country, set within its kind of own grounds, kind of as it is. And we also have to have a different location as well. So I think one of the guys is setting his in an abandoned prison, I think. I don't know where, and I think someone's going to be doing theirs in the middle of a desert somewhere. One of the guys in America. So I don't know what everybody else is doing at the moment. Like I say, it's early days. I've only just gotten the nod for this a few weeks ago. I was the last on board, so I'm a little behind with everyone else. So the first thing I had to do was to come up with our ideas, pitch our ideas, write a treatment, then write a full-blown script. And this was all before Christmas this year, 2018. So I've done all that, and I've started putting together the various kind of lists that I'm going to need, for character costumes, props. I've created a very rough schedule. So at the moment I'm looking at a 6-day and 1-night shoot. The entire film, apart from a few external scenes, will be shot inside our main character's bedroom. And last week I put a post out on Facebook for locations because I wasn't sure where I was going to shoot it at the time. And my old film school lecturer said that they had just acquired this old bus depot down in Hartlepool, which is about a 40-minute drive from me. And so I thought, oh, great. And they're thinking about, well, they are going to apply for funding to try and turn it into a film studio. But at the moment, it's just an old bus depot where buses are parked up on the night and they go and they refuel, etc. So it's this big, massive kind of depot where they park the buses up. So I went down there and I had a look around, and some of the students are using these bus depots to kind of build and use as like film sets. They're building their own sets in there. And so and one of my ideas was to kind of build a set for this film, but I've never really done that before. So but I mentioned it to my lecturer when I was down there, and he basically said that their production design department would probably build us a set for the film. So I was like, oh yeah, great. So we went and saw the guy in charge of like the set design students and what have you. So they've basically agreed to build me the entire bedroom film set for The Tree Witch, which is fantastic. Which is going to save. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to save a lot of money as well, hopefully. So now. All I'm looking for basically is an isolated house which has got a woodland or a lot of trees nearby, which can kind of work as a woodland to do for the interiors. Yesterday I did some quick ringing around to some people that I know that I've used in the past, cast crew, whatever. So now I've got my DP on board, Mr. Fraser Oxley, who shot Melanie's Grave for me, which is the last film that I've done, which is still kind of in post-production. I've got James Bartlam, who is the sound recordist on Melanie's Grave, who is interested but can't give me a definite answer yet. I'm going to have to wait after the new year to find out if he can commit to the film yet. I've also got my brilliant makeup effects artist, and I'll hopefully pronounce this right, Patricia Nowaka, Pat for short. And she did some makeup on Melanie's Grave for me, and she's agreed to do the makeup on this. And I'm going to be using my leading lady from Melanie's Grave, Rachel Meredith. She's going to play the witch in The Tree Witch. So there's going to be she played the psycho Melanie in Melanie's Grave. So she's going to go from a psycho to a witch. And it's going to involve a lot of special effects makeup. We're going to make the witch kind of really old and creepy and just fucking scary as fuck. So we're going to be doing some makeup tests with that. So hopefully I'm going to be showing you some little bits of that without giving away too much. Once I go down to the bus depot place again and start the ball rolling with the set build, I'll be taking the camera along there, and we'll be doing all this kind of behind the scenes stuff as well. So we'll be showing you all these kind of processes as the film goes on, and doing lots of updates, video updates, and hopefully sharing all this stuff with yourselves. And recently I've just acquired this little fella who's going to have a little role in the film. So hello. So I'm going to be hopefully telling you what this guy is going to be doing in the film at some point. So I think we'll end it there, and that's the first video diary over and done with. So hopefully you'll tune in for the second one, and I can update you and tell you what's happening with the film at that point. Okay, cheers, see you in a bit.